last night, snowing heavily, put my equipment down, walked maybe 500 yards, realized I had left my gun somewhere. All right, folks, we're looking at taking a trail way down into that valley. This is my first day of rifle mule deer 2025. I'm at about probably 8,500. Gorgeous evening. In person, this is just gorgeous. You got like clouds buried down in those hills that just looks really, really pretty. I got in about an hour or two later. Logistically difficult getting up here as fast as I wanted to. Looks like there's a bunch of horse trailers, hunters everywhere. So let's get started. I haven't seen a single mule deer, not even a doe. Not a good start. This is opening night up here for mule deer. Has been, I think, elk for 5 days already. Of course, they did have an archery season. Raining on and off, though. It's going to definitely get cold tonight. It's got wind starting to pick up. One thing is for sure that I've noticed over the years, no other animal I've hunted is affected as much as mule deer. Whether it be human pressure, fires, CWD, whitetail encroachment. I have seen some of the best mule deer hunting I've ever seen in my life be wiped out within a year or two in just the last 10 or 15 years. If things don't change here really quickly, like if I come in here for 2 days and there's nothing, probably have to move. I really don't want to move my camp anymore, so I might just start doing day hunts down low or on the face or something like that in another spot. We'll see. I don't really want to move my entire base camp over and over again. Howdy there, folks. So I made it back to camp. Got stuck in the mud really, really bad this morning. And as you can see, I'm covered in mud. My truck is pretty bad. One of the coolest things though, and I've used it year after year after year, and no, I'm not sponsored by them, are these things. And this is the only reason I got out. These cleats have saved me so many times in snow, ice, and mud. Definitely worth it. There's a link down in the description for them. But man, they have saved me so many times in the mud and snow. The morning hunt was basically just mud bogging and getting stuck in the mud. And it went from rain now to snow. So hopefully this evening hunt goes a little better. This right here is nature's washer, all right? I got mud caked all over these. Here they go, folks. I already have my jacket in here. So basically what we're doing here, folks, is we're just glassing up these cuts. About every 800 yards, there's a hunter. Maybe 1,000. So I went all the way then, hoping to hike in. People coming out with horses that were hunters. The best cut, a whole bunch of horses and hunters. Then I'm coming out, and then second or third best cut, hunters that came in after I came in, but I didn't set up there, so they set up there. And there's a very good chance they're going to come back and set up or blow out when I'm hunting right as I'm about to get something, because they're just past me on the next ridge over. But basically, I'm glassing these cuts coming down here and hoping some mule deer come down. I personally think that it's going to be a bust for almost all of us tonight. I could be wrong. Gosh dang it, there's bucks, and they are about 1,000 yards to 1,400 yards away, and they are moving where I could have hunted, but I thought this would be better. But they are in a spot not far from where I did miss a buck several years ago. That one actually looks like a 4x4. The other one looks like a 3x3. It's a whole bachelor herd right there. There's one good buck in there. It's super hard to tell. Maybe 2 good bucks. Definitely some shooters. Somebody might get them up there. There's a lot of pressure today. It's last light. I did see a really nice bachelor herd of mule deer. Man, this whole area is just covered up with hunters everywhere you go. And I've never seen this many hunters in here. Fog kind of settling in the hills there in the mountains. And the background gorgeous. I spotted it for like a mile away with binos, which is pretty impressive. Really solid buck. Actually 2 I'd probably shoot. At least a solid 4x4. I'll tell you what, mule deer are my kryptonite the last 10 years. 4 guys with quiet cats come in behind me. Of course, I went way past my turn around, come back, and that's when I ran into them. You know, they waved at me. Cool. I think there was 4 of them with spotting scopes. And then I set up, I don't know, maybe 800 yards. I don't know. I went quite a bit past them to the next cut, trying to give them that cut to themselves. And they passed me on their quiet cats. I was pulled over. They only went like 400 yards further, maybe 5, into a little dip in the same cut, in the bottom of the cut. So basically completely effing my hunt. And then they started glassing in the exact same spot I was glassing. So obviously sniping my spot anyway. So a little bit irritated on that. And then they took off right before legal light, or the last 10 to 15 minutes, which is prime hunting, of course. So that makes noise, and they had their lights on and everything. But I'll tell you what, those bikes are quiet. Yeah, a little irritated by that type of thing. I got to try and make a game plan for the morning. This area where it's been burned on the side, where it's been burned, is horrible. However, the opposite ridge where there's still some standing trees that haven't been burned, there are deer, or at least there are bucks. This has been a tough start. Didn't see any deer where I normally see them. Next morning came in to go down in the same spot. If they came down to water or feed. Then I did a tiny bit of road hunting, but essentially blew the whole morning. Then I went up on the ridge last night, snowing heavily, kind of bad conditions, heavy fog. So I had 2 tripods, bunch of camera gear, and I actually brought a blind in, which I've never done. Put my equipment down, walked maybe 500 yards, realized I had left my gun somewhere. I spent 2 hours, maybe 2.5, doing circles, basically doing a deer drive down below, where I heard gunshots all night. Didn't see a single deer. Didn't have a gun. I purposely didn't look up because I didn't want to see a mule deer and have it crush my soul. And here I preach to everybody, never leave your gun anywhere. Now my legs are totally shot today, which isn't good. I'm obviously going to look for it. I did bring another gun just in case I see a deer. I'm praying that within 2 hours the snow melts. I should have immediately turned around, but I dropped some gear a couple hundred yards further, and then I went back for it, and by then the snow had come in so fast that everything was covered in about 1 to 2 inches. And you'd be surprised if a gun's laying flat in 1 to 2 inches and it's camo, I could have stepped right on it. Fortunately, and I do have my track on Onyx Hunt, which I 99% of the time probably don't track. I have waypoints and I keep track of where I'm going in a sense, but I usually don't track my tracks with the tractor. Come on, Onyx, don't fail me now. Gorgeous morning, but after the damage I did last night, I don't expect to see a single deer in here. Well, folks, I actually did run into what I believe was the bachelor herd with some good bucks in it. It was a little bit too quick and too hard for me to tell. My binos, I couldn't quite make it out at sunrise. Laid down prone, got everything ready to go, and they busted before I could get them in the sight picture of my scope to see if they were good bucks. But I'm like 95% sure it was the bachelor herd with some good bucks. I walked like maybe 100 yards further, maybe not even, maybe 50, look up to the left, and right above where those deer had been, there's 2 hunters right on the ridge just sitting there. I would guess their wind and their movement probably already had those deer on high alert, plus the pressure from me last night and down below. And I've never seen mule deer bust like this, hardly ever, like never. This herd ran like 800 to 1,000 yards, like on a dead sprint. So I did catch a little bit of a visual of them. There were definitely some bucks in there, but that was probably the one shot this morning I had. I'm sure those guys are super mad at me, rightfully so in a sense, but I had to come in here. I wanted to hunt my way in from the long end, which is like twice as far. It looks like they came straight over from the top, from the road, which is way quicker and shorter distance. The scary part is they're sitting very close to where my missing rifle could be, and I pray they're honest people or something, because I hope they don't find it. I hope I find it. I'm looking right at the end of my Onyx trail where I thought it initially was. I mean, it might be here, but we got an inch of snow and really heavy frost, and this is going to be the last place. I don't even know if it'll melt off till tomorrow. It's really kind of buried and tucked in to a saddle where the sun it doesn't hit in the morning and the sun doesn't hit in the evening. Like, it's just in the right spot. So rough season. And this right here is why you use Onyx Hunt. There's not a more valuable tool out there. There she is, covered in ice against a tree. Oh my gosh. If it was not for Onyx Hunt, I never would have found this. I truly believe that. This is real. In fact, it's a lot of egg on my face and embarrassing. But if you want Onyx Hunt, use promo code Bullets for Bucks, and I believe you save 20%. Thank you, God. We're going to try out this blind. This one's pretty lightweight, though. I believe it has like fiberglass poles. Most come with aluminum, which is heavier. Comes in a carrying case with shoulder straps, a whole bunch of stakes. You can buckle it together right here. It is see-through, which is really cool. Now, obviously, bringing in a blind isn't optimal usually. just because they tend to be, you know, extra weight. But if the weather gets really bad, it's really nice to have a blind if you know you're going to be setting up in the same spot for, say, a week. Now, the way this works is you got an orange strap in the middle for the roof. Give that a really good jerk right there. And then you're going to take the sides and do the same thing. This one is 360 degrees see-through, which is really cool. You can get these with like a hunter orange rain cover or whatever. This is basically waterproof. It's very water resistant. So we're going to kind of put this right here. So I'm kind of tucking in next to a tree. Not only guarded from the wind a little bit, but also looks a little more natural. So here we have it all staked in. You can actually use paracord and like tie it down even more. It has this door, which is like a corner door. So you can get in and out easily. And that's pretty large. Rear window, pull down silent windows. You can unzip this entire side and fold it out. So you could actually have people sitting here and and hunting in that direction. You can't see me from the outside, but look at, there's a backpack right there. You can see the tree. It's a little bit better in person seeing through it. Also, good quality zippers. This can fit about 2 to 3 people. You can get them bigger. Hopefully the next couple of days I'll be hunting this clearing where I've seen bucks traveling back and forth. Most of them are further in, but that's not a good place for a blind. You'll have to make a hike over there further. Go ahead and check out these blinds. They are made by Huntsson, Huntsn, Huntsson. Because these poles are not aluminum, they, in my opinion, are much, much lighter. So this blind doesn't weigh a ton. Let's get out of here. We did a morning hunt. I did see some bucks. There was other hunters. Between the both of us, we blew them. I sat up actually. I was prone, ready to shoot. Chambered everything. I was getting behind the scope. I didn't have quite enough elevation, and man, they blew like I've never seen mule deer blow. So high pressure, lots of shooting the last couple of days. See how things go tonight. So here's my setup for the evening using the Huntsson see-through blind, and man, you can see through it and you can't see in it very easy at all. My gut feeling, really truly, probably not going to see a single mule deer, especially because I'm picking one location to devote all my time to instead of cruising and glassing a larger area. See what happens. I went to go get some lunch actually at a restaurant today and ran into Guy Eastman. They are hunting elk in here and apparently are not seeing anything. Let's talk a little bit about the kit I'm using. We got a Weatherby Mark 5 carbon 2.0 and 6.5 RPM Vortex LHT scope topped with an Omega 300 suppressor. Coming down we got a Sunway Photo gun saddle, Sunway Photo carbon fiber tripod. You get a whole bunch of different versions of these. Check out my shopping carousel below or go to their website and use bullets, the number $4 to save. Well, that played out better than an NFL playbook. Sure enough, those does got blown. There was a tiny little 2x2. Has to be 3 points or greater on one side. Definitely not a deer I would take either way. Those guys went down. Thermal went right into them, and those deer went right in front of me about 200 yards. But too bad there wasn't a big old buck in there, because they would have given me a pretty decent opportunity probably. So what we're doing here is we're in this blind, and what we're doing is we're basically hoping that something comes out. I got 360 degrees actually across here, and that it gives me an opportunity from basically the corners of the blind, or it wins us because the wind's doing swirly things. So deer have started to come out. They're about 600 yards away. Unfortunately, just a group of does I saw this morning. 600 yards is a long way. This guy's coming up from the bottom too early. He's going to throw these deer. He's going to scare them away. And he's probably not going to see them. Thermals are still going uphill. And he's directly across from me. Now, I do have orange on and orange on my outside of my blind. But still, I mean, this guy's going to totally ruin what little chance I have. He's almost directly across from me, which means I could be in crossfire. I have never seen this amount of deer hunters up here. Now, they limit the amount of elk hunters, obviously, but it's a general deer area for residents, and they're giving away way too many non-resident tags. This deer right here, the thermal's going to go right into him, and these deer are going to bust. Now, this morning, I had to hunt high because I lost ear, obviously, up here. Otherwise, I would have hunted low, but these guys are making their way There's two of them. I think they hunted high this morning in here. It's the same two guys. They're making their way out to here, I believe. He's already alerted. See that white butt? There they go. Yep, there they go. See that deer just by that tip of that pine tree? To the right. Those hunters come in down below. The thermals are going up. They're on high alert. They're going to blow all those deer. Look at these two hooligans. I don't even think they ever saw those deer. They're sitting looking the opposite way. Now they just looked right at me. He's looking right at me. He's going, is that a blind? Is that orange I see? Oh my gosh, that's a blind. Well, they just ruined my hunt, so. Because they went down and they were below the thermal. I forgot how much fun it is going through 8 inches of snow downhill through deadfall. Gorgeous morning, though. I have a feeling they're going to go into areas where there's not as much snow and feed. We'll see what happens. 4 does came out kind of in front of me. And then a big fork on one side and no antler on the other. I think it was broke off. Came out at like 200 yards. Went to like 350. Has to be 3 on one side or greater. Anyway, I wouldn't have shot him. He kept looking back and I was just, man, I was so hopeful that he was part of that bachelor herd and the big ones are going to come out behind him, but he was by himself. Pretty sure if I'd been set up where I'm at a couple days, like opening 2 days, I'd have easily at least had a shot opportunity. Last hunt of high country mule deer, I might go down to like 4,000 or 5,000 feet and hunt some, like, I guess for lack of a better term, high desert mule deer. If not, or even if I do, it's probably going to turn into a whitetail deer for me. I got all of November for whitetail. I really wanted to get a muley this year. And they're kind of my kryptonite. We got a buck here, but I think he's tiny. And there's another one that was with him I thought was bigger, but I don't think this is definitely not the big bachelor herd. It's just a little tiny forkhorn. There was a little bit bigger one with him, but this isn't the big bachelor herd, unfortunately. It's good to see deer movement. Seeing lots of deer, but only teeny weeny bucks. Alright folks, so I'm out here whitetail hunting, trying out this Matt Hat jerky. This is the sweet original. I had a black truffle bag I was supposed to eat tonight. I ate the whole thing on the way here. I couldn't help it. Comes in sweet, spicy, all kinds of flavors. This is the sweet original, low carb, no nitrate, no MSG, and gluten-free. This pack has 18 grams of protein. So what I like is that this is probably my 5th bag of this jerky. It's the best quality jerky I've had. It's got like the most complex flavors, and it's not overly tough or like too smushy. It's just right. Got some fat running through it. Really good stuff. Good deer hunting snack. I use promo code BULLETS, the number $4. That's bullets for bucks to save. This is day 1 of whitetail here in Wyoming. I did a whole bunch of mule deer hunting, was unsuccessful, and now I'm out here hunting mule deer. It's been super warm. September was super warm. October was super warm. Now we got like 65 degrees, sunny, no snow in almost mid-November. So they should be starting to rut, but man, makes the hunting tough. I'm using this SIG Cross 6.5 PRC on a 2-vets tripod. And then I have a Burris Veracity PH scope with a heads-up display in it. Love, love, love this setup from a blind because you can elevate it and still be really stable with the built-in Arca Swiss rail. See what happens. Holy smokes, I just dumped like a whole bottle of Tink's doe urine and it was blown away and it must have come back. Pretty soon my beef jerky is going to taste like doe urine. Nah, it tastes good. Day number 2 of whitetail hunting. 2 bucks came in. Nice. One really nice one pretty decent. To the fence line. Wouldn't come across. There's better feed on the private bordering the fence. One of the big ones went after a doe. And I'm pretty sure somebody like 2 houses down that way shot it. I heard 2 or 3 gunshots and about the right amount of time given the direction. And it just wouldn't come in. The biggest problem with this area is I can only hunt to this, not this tree, fence line, but then one right about on the edge of that clearing back there. About where that fence post is. That whole hillside's owned by a rancher, and then the property to the right is as well. Those are, like, obviously they have hunters that come in and usually take the big ones. The rut's really coming in late because of the hot weather. If they do come in, they tend to come right up into this pond, which is really close. Or they come along that back tree line, just up to the corner, and then they go into that thicket and dive below if they're a big old mature buck usually. If I could hunt that drainage, it'd be pretty easy. But I can't, and so I gotta either call one in or hope one comes over the fence into this field. I put a decoy out today, though, a Montana decoy doe, and a whole bunch of Tinks estrus, like premium attractant. So, man, my luck this year. A really nice, big old buck, literally like 150, 200 yards away. I was setting everything up. I don't think I ever had a clear shot, though. I see his butt and his antlers walking away from me. I mean, I walked out there, put a decoy up, put estrus out there. He must have been bedded 50 yards from me when I went in, so he has no interest in what I did, the decoy or the scent. He literally walks straight to the property line, jumps the fence, and I never had a clear shot. And it's only like 3 in the afternoon. Oh, it's so frustrating. And he was on the property I can shoot. Now, if I had been just 25 yards to my right of where I'm set up, I would have had an easy shot on him all day. That's hunting, though. There's still one in here, at least. Thank God. So here we are, guys. My buck of 2025. Thought he was a lot bigger. It was getting really low light. There was a lot of brush behind him. Didn't think I'd get another chance tonight. So I took him about 200 yards, smoked him, dropped like a sack of potatoes. Got up and realized he's actually pretty small. In fact, my buddy was begging me to come shoot a buck in his backyard, sending me pictures of it and telling me when it was there, and it was actually a lot better and bigger than this. I'm still happy. Turns out he's only a forky on one side. Got 3 little ones on this side. Beautiful deer, though. He'll make some really good rattles. And it was kind of funny. I was walking out to get him. Still had about 15 minutes illegal light left. Coming straight out into the field towards my decoy was an absolute monster. At least a 6x6, legit. Would have been my biggest whitetail, potentially ever, but certainly in the last 10 years. And I actually could have shot him multiple times at like 100 yards on my way to get this one, but didn't know he was there. Didn't know he was coming out because there was brush in the way, so I couldn't see him where I was in the blind. Used the Sig Sauer Sawtooth and 6.5 PRC with the Burris Veracity PH, which is a super cool scope to use. Got it topped off with a Tyon Mini Dragoon suppressor. All right, let's get him out of here.
Thanks for watching Bullets for Bucks. Check out this next video and subscribe.